What's going on, guys? I'm Zachary Gray, and today we're going to be here in South Mississippi searching around these cabins. Now, oftentimes snakes will come out in the morning times, just around buildings and stuff, but I've heard there's actually a good amount of snakes on this property, so I'm really excited to check it out. Let's go.
If you've ever gone camping, stayed in a cabin, or just live in the country in general, you know that snakes are going to be found there. Snakes are oftentimes drawn to open spaces with buildings because it provides food, shelter, and a place to bask, along with many other areas to climb.
Check it out. Corn snake. Which is that hole? He's going down a hole. Okay, we can't sit and watch him. Can't sit and watch him. Can't sit and watch him. I was wondering what this little guy was doing. I think he was out basking for the morning, but that's his little burrow. Oh, it's okay, bud. Hello. Hi. He did not like that. Ooh. That little snake is not happy. That is a really nice example of a Mississippi corn snake. Very light gray back. And look how fat this snake is. Probably ate a bird. Probably not too many rodents around this. You'd think there'd be a lot of rodents around these buildings, but they do a good job maintaining them. So it's either a bird or maybe a really massive fence lizard. They will eat lizards a lot of time. He's super whippy. This is pretty typical of a wild corn out here. You'll notice he's not biting, but he did rattle his tail a bunch. I mean, he was heading straight for that. He was kind of just sitting out basking. And as we came up to him, I was like, well, you know, let's just watch him, see if he kind of cruises. He's like, nope. And there was a deep hole right there. He was going straight down it. Nice orange coloration at the top. In Mississippi, they get a more faded color at the back. There's lots of different colorations and morphs of these snakes, and it's just really cool to see kind of the local coloration here in Mississippi. They are a relatively uncommon snake. I don't find too many of these in Mississippi, but you will sometimes see them basking on top of piles of sticks and logs, hanging out on edges like this, and of course hanging around some buildings. Now these snakes love longleaf pine forests, and you'll actually see behind me all of these big trees are pine, which really sets this up for a perfect habitat for corn snakes, just to kind of come around these cabins and hunt. I don't want to handle this snake any longer right now because he does once again have a really big meal in his stomach, so we're going to go ahead and put this snake back, but that is really cool. Alright, see you, little fella. Back along your little building there. Boop, boop, boop.
Things like king snakes and rat snakes are great to keep around areas like this, but if people are going to spend a lot of time anywhere, it's best to keep the vipers and other venomous snakes away from here. So any potentially dangerous snakes that we find, we're going to go ahead and relocate them so neither people or snakes get hurt in this scenario. Mississippi is known for its vast pine savannas, poplar and magnolia branches, and its spring-fed river biomes. And this place pretty much has all of those.
Rough green, right there. Big rough green snake. Two! There's two rough greens. I didn't even see that one. Check that out. That's super cool. One of them, I'm gonna get the far one because he is at risk of getting away. Oh, that one's at risk of getting away too now. Stop it. Come here, silly. I just want to show you off to everybody. 3, gotcha. Haha. Come on. Got one. I got two. Got him. Get you away from the branches. Woohoo! Double rough greens. Check that out. Only saw the one at first. Have a look at that. I'm always looking in trees around water, especially for either of these snakes. Goodness, one of them's huge. See this one? You know, kind of wrapped up there. It's not too uncommon to see large amounts of rough green snakes kind of hanging out. I noticed that they do really like wax myrtle, but also really any kind of brush, briars, stuff like that, they'll hang out along. During the day and night, it's just a lot easier to spot these snakes at night. They're very friendly. It's very hard to get either of these snakes to bite. And I would have to guess, looking, I think this is a big male, and this is a male too. Now these snakes can kind of vary in coloration a bit. One's a bit darker than the other one actually, but they're always going to be this green with some kind of plain belly, whether it's yellow, orange, or white. These snakes are perfectly harmless. In fact, there's not a venomous snake in the United States that looks like them. There are the smooth greens up north, but once again, perfectly harmless. And they mostly feed on insects, so they're a really good species to keep around. They will occasionally eat lizards, but most of their diet is going to be invertebrates, bugs, lizards, little stuff like that. And it's really crazy how they spot stuff. Like, they just will see something perfectly still and they'll go and just grab it straight off the branch. Really cool snakes. Gonna go ahead and put them back on their wax myrtle tree and keep looking for more around the cabins, a little bit upland. Now, I absolutely love this property. Now, up and along these cabins is really good for snakes. It kind of works like a natural edge that also works to attract food for snakes. It's pretty cool kind of learning, like, I don't know, almost urban snake hunting when you're hunting around buildings and stuff. It is very different, but it's also very fun. Especially these old cabins that are really nice back here in this nice habitat. Snake, copperhead, look. It's crawling out of this. Ooh. Oh, there's another one. 2. He just moved when I moved this log. There's 2 copperheads right here. That one's super dark. And you guys can't necessarily stay around the cabin, can you? They're not happy with me disturbing them. They're very awake. Both of them are very awake. Hey, bud. So have a look at this. We've got one right here and one right there. That one's got some broken bands on him, actually. I don't think there's any more, but I still need to be... Let me look in this middle section here. I don't see any others. Yeah, this is just a little stack of firewood. They'll actually get all up in little sticks, stacks of firewood. I disturbed this little log pile and they're like, yep, we gotta go. Very dark. This one's got perfect bands. That one does not. Now, copperheads are a viper. They're one of our very few venomous snakes here in North America. This one is very, very active. His head's twitching. He's very active. That's an aware snake. Very aware. This one seems pretty laid back, though. Now, this right here is really just a pile of firewood, something that people would reach their hands down to pick up and bring to the fireplace right under the cabin. Like, this is where they keep the firewood to keep it dry. And snakes, like copperheads, you know, lots of other snakes will do this, racers, rat snakes, but copperheads specifically will move into this stuff and just kind of sit here. And I guess this is maybe a breeding pair. I don't know. That one does not concern me. It's very dark. Maybe it's in shed. I don't know, but it's very chill. The one under this, though, concerns me because it was over here. The second I messed with him, it went whoop and it went around. So that one's very awake. They're both very awake, but that one especially. So what I think I'm going to do, I don't want to crush this one, so I'm going to be careful. Wait, where are you coming up at? You are there. Okay. I'm going to push this up. Okay, there you are. There you are. That's precarious. I can roll this one up. Woo! Yeah, there's definitely not any more. It's just the 2. This one's pretty. I want to get this one out, though, simply because it's schmoving. Look at that snake. Very pretty. Copperheads are pretty mild-mannered, but if you were to put a hand by it, just reaching for a log or something, they would strike, simply because they don't want to be messed with. Well, one thing's for sure is they cannot stay here. Very cool to see a double copperhead, and in a lot of other scenarios, you know, if you're just like out in forest or a preserve or whatever, then obviously you just want to leave the snakes be. But since this is a place that people frequent, and this is just straight up firewood, we are going to relocate these snakes. If you're not somebody who's into studying these snakes, who really knows about them, then it's best to call somebody to help relocate them. Because the #1 time that people actually get bit by venomous snakes is when they're trying to kill or move them, and in that order. So never ever put yourself in a place to get bit by a venomous snake. It's something that can literally ruin not just your week, not just your month, but your life. You can get an amputation from one of these snakes. You know, worst case scenario, you die, which is very rare from a copperhead, but it does actually happen. But these snakes cause a lot of amputations and really bad bites. So never want to get bit by one of these snakes. Luckily today, you know, I've got my snake bag with me. We're going to go ahead and safely relocate these snakes and get them out of this log pile. So that one, very well behaved still. Just chilling, curled up. Now, I do not have a bucket with me today, which is very, is that a good one? Yes, it's a good bag. Got a few in there. So, I think I can probably get them both into one. Do not try this. This is something I've done a million times before, and this is literally my job, guys. Don't try and do this. I don't care how good you think you are at it. Don't do it. I'm the guy whose job it is to do this. Okay, so I'm going to get Speedy Gonzalez here first, and I'm going to teach you how to safely do this. Copperheads are pretty easy compared to things like rattlesnakes and moccasins and stuff. So bang. Cannot bite me. Now the complicated part is, oh, he's moving now. That actually helps me a little bit. We got one. you a good ways away. Hello, baby. Yeah, see, it's in shed. See that little divot right there? The shed skin? This snake is in shed. And it's fat! Jeez! That's a fat snake! This one has perfect banding, too. They're both pretty small, though. How are you doing? Goodness, that thing just ate like a rat or something. It's fat. Come on. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Into the bag. So well behaved. That was perfect. And notice, I do not put my hand anywhere near the snakes, even while they are in the bag. They can bite through these bags very easily. That's why I typically use buckets, but I don't have a bucket with me today. So, now we have both snakes perfectly in the bag, flat on the bottom. I'm going to fold, fold, twist, 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 twist. I only do this for venomous snakes, and then I also like to take my snake hook and kind of just do it like that, to where that blocks them for while I'm tying this. So I know that there's not going to be a snake right here. All the snake is over there. Twist that up. Simple knot. Cannot get to me because the snake hook is blocking them right now. And I like to keep that kind of tight. Everything tight, tight. No escapees allowed. Especially not in my car. And I can also do a little twist for good measure whenever I put it down again, but there we go. That is 2 copperheads ready to be relocated. And this is only because they are in a spot where they could end up biting somebody very easily, because people come out to this cabin all the time. So there you go. We're not going to be taking them too far away from here, and copperheads are a pretty generalist animal, so we'll find them a good stack of logs, good stack of sticks, and we're going to go relocate these snakes. Very cool to be seeing out here, and who knows, might have saved somebody from getting a bite just because of where these guys were hanging out. So really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, consider subscribing, and check out some of our other videos that we've done with vipers in the past. They are always awesome to see here in the South, and we will see you guys next time. Alright, let's go relocate these snakes. There we go.